So there's a frame of bees. This is Saturday, January 28th. And they've got capped honey. And on this side, hopefully you can see that the way it's... Sorry I'm awkward. I've got one hand with no glove on and I'm really trying not to get stung. But I hope you can see those open frames. They have like a glistening. That's actually the bees are getting nectar from somewhere, and they're making honey here at the end of January, so that's pretty cool. Good afternoon. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Dave, and if you're not new, well, you know my name's still Dave, and I'm just talking to you. It's a Friday afternoon, just got off of work, and I'm back at the house, standing here next to one of my brown turkey fig bushes. The other one's across the way there, but that's not really what we're going to talk about today. Wanted to share with you several weeks ago, I guess it was third week of January. It doesn't matter. We had some warm days, and by warm days here, we're in the mid-Atlantic in Maryland. We're talking 50 plus, and no more than 55, but it was warm enough to go out and check on some bees that I have. And you don't get to do that a lot, although we've had a couple warm days since then, but we've certainly had some really cold weather. And I'm disappointed. I have 7 hives, and I have lost 5 of them. The hives have plenty of honey. The hives don't appear in any way compromised other than the bees are gone. So I have to assume from what I've read and what I've been told that could have been mites. I treated them twice last year, just like I did before, with a product called formic acid. It basically fumigates the hives, kills the mites, drives them out. I should have probably done it 3 times apparently. But I didn't, because last year when I did it, one of the times I did it, it can be hard on the bees, and it killed a queen. So I'm trying to find the right mix here, the right middle ground between taking care of the hives and obviously not killing my bees with the treatment. We want the treatment to not kill the patients. But irregardless, or regardless, some people say irregardless isn't a word. I don't think it is. Regardless, I got some video. I was not intending to take a video that day, which is why I'm doing my intro here later. But I kind of was in the middle of it and thought, this is interesting that somebody might want to watch, and I hope you do. We're going to dig into a couple of hives, the 2 hives I have left, show you the hives I have, and like I said, certainly as some of them have passed on, but show you some frames. If you're not familiar with bees, you can see what bees look like in the hive, as well as honey. They have a fair amount of nectar. You'll see how I feed the bees. These are none of these are things that have come up with. I'm going to be starting my 3rd year beekeeping in April. I've only scratched the surface. There's so much I don't know. But I've watched and followed and read others, and that's where I got most of my information from. So please don't think that, number one, if you're beekeeping, that I'm saying it's the only way to do it, and certainly don't think that I am claiming to have come up with this knowledge on my own. So we have several bees. We have some bees, and I hope you stay till the end, because I do also have some pictures of still pictures of frames of honey, as well as with bees on them. You can get an idea what that looks like, and you can see what that looks like if you're not familiar. And I just hope you enjoy it. I'm going to be getting more bees in the spring here in about 6 weeks, and we're going to give it a go again, because they do well in my area, and I'm really enjoying having them. So, not to hold you up from the video anymore, I hope you enjoy it, and as always, stay safe. Stay prepared. What is it again that I always say? Stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you on the next video. Whew, that was a brain cramp. Have a good one.
All right, we'll see how this goes. This hive did have some activity at the entrance before. I don't see it now, so we're going to lift this lid off, and we've got the inner cover there, and we got the blanket. Take that off. I am a little concerned, and it does not. Yeah, I don't hear anything in this hive, so that's another hive that I lost. I really think I lost a lot of them. These boxes are full of honey. There's no issue here with them not having had enough honey. In fact, the honey that I harvested in the fall is, it was hardly any at all. I mean, I harvested very little. It's, these boxes are still very heavy. Very heavy. Lost quite a few hives this year. I'm not happy about that, and I'm going to definitely have to be doing something different in the fall next year, because this is certainly unacceptable. I'm going to leave this upper entrance on here for the moment in case the other bees want to hit it, but there's really no reason why they need to. There's now only one hive left down here. That's the hive on the end, and it's the only hive that I overwintered with 2 medium boxes, or excuse me, a deep and 2 medium boxes instead of just 2 deep boxes. So that's 2 deep boxes on the end there. That's a deep box, and then 2 mediums. They're the only ones that survived. I can't say how or why. Most of these bees came from a lot of the same sources. The one on the end there was a purchased nucleus. That one was a recovered swarm that someone called me about. These 2 were package bees from the same source. And then this was a break, a division or a split from another hive that I have at home that is still going strong, I believe. We're gonna go check on that one next. So not a great year this year, this winter in the bee yard. And it's January oh heckity heck, probably 28th. Yeah, January 28th. So we still could have another month of really cold weather. Like I said, that one on the end is the only live one left. These boxes are full of honey, but not full of bees, and I'm disappointed because they certainly didn't starve to death. But I don't know whether I did something wrong, didn't treat them enough for mites, or what happened. So, well, I mean, such that it is, I guess. I hate to lose a hive of bees. It really, more than just the cost, it really does get to me, because these girls work hard for me and they produce a lot of honey. This year, a number of these were first-year hives. I only had a couple 2-year hives, and got well over probably almost 10 gallons of honey, and these boxes are still full. So they did a fantastic job, and it just pains me that that something happened to them. So anyway, be that as it may, get the sentimentality out of the way for the moment, and I'll video the last box when I get home, which is a hive at my house in my backyard, and we'll see what it is. These bees are fanning the entrance in order to spread the pheromone around from the queen so that the other bees can recognize and find the location of the entrance. All right, so this is my other hive that is in the backyard. It is always been just a gangbuster. This is starting its 3rd season. I know it's had at least 2 different queens, because the first season I accidentally killed the queen that came with it when I did a formic treatment and added the patties improperly. So, you know, don't do that. because if you kill your queen, it's going to cost you another 30 to 50 bucks, depending on where you get it from. So unlike my other boxes, which were either too deep and a medium, too deep, or excuse me, period, or the one I have that's still thriving down at the other location, that one was one deep and two mediums. So this one is two deep and a medium. And the medium was kind of half filled with honey, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to leave it on there, see how they do with it. Now, if you look closely, this medium, it does have a hole, an upper entrance cut into it. It's been that way, and it's been that way for quite a while, and they're quite used to it. So used to it, in fact, that when I put the shim on, which is right here, the pale like sea foam or whatever that is, it has an upper entrance, and I left that open. And as you can see, I just taped over with some paper tape this entrance because I wanted them coming in the top, because there's sugar patty up there for them to feed on, and I thought that way they'll come in, they'll find the sugar patty, they'll have it. They ignored that hole. They've been doing their thing now for 2 seasons and I got this box both years. This was my first box that actually I did an upper entrance on, and then after that I switched to not drilling them through the boxes, but rather putting them, as you can see here, in a shim, and then putting the shim on. But there's sugar up here, so I put that hole there, put that entrance there, and thought, oh great, they'll go through there, they'll find the honey, they'll find the sugar in case they need it, blah 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 blah. Guess what they didn't do? They would not use that entrance, because they've been using this one, and not only would they not use it, they wanted to keep using this one, so they chewed a hole. You can see, yeah, they chewed a hole right through that paper tape and kept right on trucking. And in fact, they've chewed the entrance a little bit bigger, because this used to be a perfect hole from an auger bit, and now you can see it's a little bit wider, a little bit bigger, and the board they've kind of chewed on to get around so they can get what they want, do what they want, because that is definitely what these bees do. And boy, you can see this hive is busting. Look at it. It is January 29th, I think. What did I say in the other video, earlier? January 28th. Same day. I just simply changed locations. This hive has been a monster ever since I got it. They have a lower entrance. It is blocked off, all except for right there on the end, so they can get in there. But this one, they have always preferred that upper entrance. So I'm going to set you down for a minute. We're going to come back, and you're going to look right down in the box after I open it up. We're going to get the hive tool here and get this lid off, and this shim here, and some of this tape, and then we'll see what's in there. And I have a feeling they're going to be going like just gangbusters, just from looking at the outside here. All right, be right back. All right, so I removed the top. It's warm, so that didn't really seem to mind much. And you can see this shim has a bit of a screen on it. Yep. And what happens is, the bees could come through that entrance right there, but they refuse to, and then come right in here and eat. Instead, they're coming through the entrance, the upper entrance that is in this purple box that's on the front, the one I showed you. Come in through the combs, and then they're coming up here, and you can see they are right on that sugar. That sugar is plain table sugar. It is mixed with water. There's a million videos on YouTube that you can see how to do this. You mix it with water till it's about the consistency of wet sand. Pack it into whatever you want. These I put into muffin tins. You can see they're round, and this is broken from a like a loaf pan, one of those little loaf pans. I guarantee you every single person has one in their house. If you don't know where yours is, of course, ask your wife. She'll know. Explain to her you're only putting sugar in it, and that nothing harmful or nasty. I do use some essential oils. I do put a little bit of wintergreen, and I do put a little bit of several drops, five or six drops, in a couple pounds, in probably 20 or 30 pounds of sugar. And the thymol can help with mites. There's supposedly the thyme oil, as well as the wintergreen supposedly helps with some other parasites. I don't know if it does or not. It doesn't seem to bother the bees. They still chow down. So I put it in there. I'm going to try to do this. I don't have a glove on one hand so that I can work the camera. So if I start getting the crap stung out of me, I'm going to have to stop. But what I wanted to do was just maybe pull out one of these frames for you. Just by the way, in case you're wondering all the noise, my chicken girls are right there. They're literally this close to the bees. Kind of keep everything behind a fence that blocks it from the street. But they're angry with me. It's usually about this time of day that I let them out and let them free range, and they see me back here, and they haven't been allowed to go out free range. So they're a little annoyed with me right now, but that's okay. All right, so we're going to pull this frame up, and boy, look at that. So I'll try to find the queen. I'm not going to go crazy. I can see from, number one, the population of this hive, as well as the activity, that there is a queen in there. These guys are working on a little bit of honey on this frame. These are small frames, but if we turn it over, hang on 1 second, see if I can do this. Get the hell stung out of me. I mean, you know, gosh darn bejesus Dickens, yeah, those words. Now this side, that white, all honey. These bees are actually, if you can see these open combs right here? It's so hard to see. I know, a cell phone, instead of a real camera. But there should, right in there, is a glycine that I hope you can see in the sun. Let me see if I can turn it a little bit. That's actually, they're getting nectar from somewhere. So they are actually, that honey hasn't been capped, and they're getting nectar. So that's pretty cool. I've actually had several bees land on my bare hand and I haven't got stung. That's pretty cool too. This is winter time, and it's about 52, 53 degrees here, which not unusual. We're in the mid-Atlantic. I'm in Maryland. Not unusual for this time of year, but it's nice to catch it when you can, and you can actually take the time to check on the girls. And I mean, I pulled 2 frames out, and I'm seeing lots of honey. I don't see a queen. I don't think I'm going to sit here and dig. It is, after all, still winter. I don't think I'm going to dig down in there. I don't know if you can really, oops, sorry. Let me see if I can throw a few more shadows, or maybe put my hand in the way or something else like that to block your view. But each of these frames, I mean, these upper frames are still full of honey. If I lift the whole box and heft it, oh yeah, the whole hive, it's quite heavy, so I know it's full of honey. There is a noticeable difference between a hive that's empty and a hive that's full still of honey. I'm gonna pop this one more frame though, just so you can see here, because this one is definitely full of honey, as well as bees. Oh yeah, there we go. So all that at the top, see that white little bit in the middle? So that's capped honey, probably capped in the fall, last fall. And then everything else they're doing there, which it's hard to see. The sun is on my phone, so I'm having a hard time seeing what I'm videoing. But what I'm hoping you can see is how all of those open cells that the bees are sitting on top of right now are just glistening and full. These ladies, excuse me, hardest working ladies I know, other than maybe my chickens laying eggs for me. They are working hard and actually taking care of business. stocking up and taking care of, they're getting it from somewhere here at the end of January. If you, I can't, one just landed on my finger, and she was just full. Her leg pockets were just full of yellow pollen. They say witch hazel will bloom this time of year, and they get pollen from that. We do have dandelions still around. They can certainly get pollen from dandelions. In fact, they get more pollen from dandelions, really, I'm told, than nectar. So the pollen is a source of protein. The honey and the nectar, the nectar, which they make into honey eventually, is a source of carbohydrates. So they need the protein, though, in order to rear young. And it's clear that if I dig down in this hive, and I'm not going to, because like I said, it's warm today, but it's still chilly for a bee. But I'm sure this queen's probably laying eggs already, and that's crazy this time of year. This hive is gonna, knock on wood, barring anything unforeseen. I think this hive will do well for me. It's done well for me both years. In fact, the first year when I only had 2 hives, this hive had so much honey that I took some from this hive and gave it to the others. You do that. You rob from the rich and give to the poor so that they can get through the winter. There's another frame that is just packed full of honey. These bees have been, I don't know where they're getting it from, but they are delivering in spades. So, all right, I'm gonna pause for a minute here, set you down. Once again, there's the chickens. They like sitting on their stepladder roost outside. Gets their feet out of the mud. It's been raining here like to beat the band. That droning, I guess some people might find that terrifying. I really do find it soothing, though. All right, I'm gonna set you down, and we're gonna put this hive back together, and you got to see some bees today. So I hope that helped. I hope, ooh, it's getting heavy. And like I said, I hope you can see that nectar in there. That will become honey once it's dehydrated enough. The bees will cap it off with wax, just like they capped off this white part, and it'll be a frame full of honey for either them or for me. All right,